Welcome back to Creative Revenue, where creativity meets profit. I'm your host, Jonathan Milton, and today we're talking to filmmaker who's built an independent movie business and consistency in execution. Joining from Memphis, Tennessee, is a producer, director, cinematographer, editor, and studio owner who's proven you don't have to wait for Hollywood to create opportunities. He produces films across multiple cities, works with his own wife, who writes many of his scripts, collaborates with other writers when needed, and has built a system that allows him to release a new film about every 6 weeks. Today we are going behind the scenes, just talk filmmaking, but to learn how he built the business, the systems, and the mindset that keeps his creative engine running. Please welcome our guest today, Robert Rip Parker. Hey Robert, how you
How
doing,
you
man?
doing? All right, I'm doing good.
Doing good, doing good. So Robert, how did you start in the business of filmmaking?
When I started filming business, filmmaking, I used to write short poems and books and things like that. And I wrote my first book, did Waking Up with Troubled Mind, and got a movie produced from that. And that was
Okay.
my first movie. And I wrote a second book called Mama Spirit, but I stopped halfway and I just continued to write the script from there. And so I kind of laid out books and just continued writing scripts, and from there, I just continued on. Those started in 2015.
2015. Okay, so you knew that you wanted to write books first, or did you just happen to write scripts after the books?
Well, I knew I wanted to write. Well, first of all, I wanted to be an actor first because I started doing stage plays and things like that. So I wanted to
Okay,
be an actor first. But I have always been a writer, writing songs, doing music. I did all that. Uh, my background is entertainment. So I started in music, really, writing songs and managing artists and things like that. So when I decided to write a book, I decided to turn that book into a script, and I learned how to turn that book into a script, and it started from there. And but it took me a long time to do that because I wasn't sure myself of taking a new path,
hmm,
and it just took a while. But from from 1998 all to 2015, it took me that long to even realize that that's what exactly what I want to do.
gotcha.
So from there, I started writing scripts.
Writing scripts. Okay, so you started writing scripts in 2015.
Yes, 2015 I started writing scripts. With 2014, and then merged into being a complete movie in 2015, airing on platforms.
Okay, yeah, because my first same thing. I was like 2014, 2015. I wrote my first script. It was two short films. I just put it on YouTube, and then I made my first film in 2015, The Foreign Exchange Student, and
Yep.
yeah, you know. So what made you build and own your own studio instead of waiting for Hollywood?
Well, I got tired of asking people to let me use their business, and I got a lot of turn downs from people. It's just the fact of going out asking people to use a business and they're not cooperating, don't want you to use it, or it was the high prices of doing it. So I say I built my first studio. This is 27. Built my first studio in 2024,
Okay.
and I built my second one in 2025. So, and that's why I decided to do it because there's just so many letdowns, things like that.
Okay. And so, where did you get the materials, the furniture, the people to help you build the sets? Like, was that difficult at all?
It was difficult because I couldn't get anyone to help me. So, like me, I'm not going to sit and wait on anybody to help me. So, I decided to do it myself. And I,
Wow.
I, I picked up the hammer and the nails and started building my sets myself. This was after the first time because no, the first time I got a guy to build it. He charged me a whole lot of money. I was like, whoa,
Mm.
it don't cost that much to build that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved to my second studio, I built it myself, and not knowing that I had hands-on crafting and being a builder, uh, I built it myself. Built my whole entire studio, interrogation room, hospital, jail cell, front room, living room, just the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so if you're not as so if someone isn't as crafty as you are, and for the low, what's the budget range if somebody isn't as crafty to build their own sets in a studio?
Oh well, if you're not as crafty as building your own sets, I say it costs me probably. Oh man, to build my whole studio that I on the back end of my studio, it probably cost me about. I'm gonna say roughly about 6,000.
Oh, okay,
But
yeah,
but for somebody who isn't as hands-on a
right,
building, it's gonna cost them about 15 to 20.
15, 20. Okay,
Yeah, 15
that's
to
not bad.
20,000.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
And so that saves you time and energy to not have to move around the city and you all in one space to, like in your studio, right? It's like very convenient, right?
it's very convenient because we're always indoors and we don't have to wait for somebody to say, well, you got such time left before your time expires, or you have to pay more money. It was that convenient because we can take our time filming the production, choose any day or whatever, and we gotta, wait for somebody to say, well, somebody already rented the space, so you got to come back, things like that. So it's very convenient.
Right. And so have you held events or rented out the studio before?
Oh yeah, we rented out a lot of times. Rented out studio for different people filming. Different places. People come from everywhere to film. Rent the place out. We rent out for had a lot of people coming in rent out for music videos, mostly, and we rented out for like acting sessions. Rehearsals. We did it for like table reads and invited guests like Omar Gooding to come in to teach the acting classes, things like that. So it was rented out for a lot of stuff.
Okay, so owning your own studio can make you several streams of income.
Yes, you can. Yeah, service
Okay,
street income because, and we was located on Print Space too. Also along on my website, so there was various places you can really go to and find the link to actually
mhm.
rent it out when it's convenient, whenever you're ready for it.
Okay, bet. So when did you know that filmmaking can make you some money into a real business? When did you really know that okay, this film thing is taking off? Like what project or at what point did you think to yourself, okay, this could be a real business?
Yeah, after my first, second, third, after my fourth film, I started getting revenue, and you talking about like I say around 2018, the struggle. My movie, The Struggle, started getting a lot of income and everything, and from that, from 2018 on up, all the way up to now, it's been really, really, really good, and the income has been really great.
Okay.
I made a lot. I made money that I never made before in my life. You talking about 200, 300,000, things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's a lot of money just to be filming movies. But at the same time, I was a truck driver at the same time, so I was doing both at the same time. So I was
Okay. So
making double income.
okay. You funded your film business by having your trucking company, right?
Yes. I funded by having a trucking company. Yep. So from that and the truck company, uh, you know, the films when the film was funded, I used that to buy my trucks and everything, and then use my trucks to go back to my movies. Back and forth, back and forth. So both of them was benefiting each other. Or
Okay.
I'd say both of them are benefiting each other because I'm still actually doing the same thing.
The same
Because
thing.
actually I'm on my second truck. I'm actually on my second truck. Uh, so they both benefit each other.
Okay, so you got several businesses. You own your own trucking company, your own film company, and you own your second truck. So you're really making it. So you're really doing it.
Yes, studio. So yeah, I got a lot of monthly incomes. And other than that, from the movies and everything that I got, you got other incomes coming in from the movies, like the music. Getting paid from BMI, and then you getting paid from
Right.
streaming, social media. So you got multiple types of income coming in. Along with that, with film and several movies, you got multiple checks coming in.
Right, right. So I see that you drop in movies like every month, every week. It seems like. How do you do that?
Well, we developed a what you call what's the word? Well, we developed a little scenario thing where we're able to drop movies, and what we do, we film Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then what I do, I go in, I edit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I drop the trailer Thursday, finish the movie Friday, and it's out the distribution Friday, and that's it for the whole month, and that's like 10 days out that month I'm actually working, and the other 20 days when I'm working, and when I get back to it. So I was doing that every month, releasing like, well, I say I am doing it every month, releasing like 7 to 8 movies a year. But I kind of narrowed down to like five movies now because I got so much material. It's like overwhelming to have so much material, but you can't promote everything. It's like having 3 cars, trying to drive 3 cars at the same time. So I
Yes.
said, let me kind of slow down. And I got enough movies for 2 years released now. The movies I haven't released, I got movies for 2 years. I can actually stop and still release movies.
Wow.
So that's how hard. It's sort of like what Tupac was doing. He worked and worked and worked and worked. So many
Yes.
songs. So he's gone. I'll be still releasing songs.
Exactly.
Michael Jackson too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so your wife works with you also, right?
Yeah, she's actually my writer, which we didn't. She used to say, "I'm gonna be your ghostwriter, be your ghostwriter." Whatever. But she ended up being my writer, and she had wrote several great movies that has hit millions of streams. Streams throughout the platforms.
Okay. So has she always been a writer?
No, she haven't always been a writer. She started writing for me. I think she started writing for me in 22, maybe. And I can't remember the first movie she wrote, but she wrote Too Little, Too Late. She wrote Blood Thicker Than Water 1 and 2. She wrote a lot of great movies, and actually that helps me because I'm doing cinematography, I'm editing, I'm filming, I'm directing. You know, plus I was writing at the same time, so I had to break out one of those jobs, and because I was actually doing too much.
Right, right, right. And so you shoot the movie, edit the movie, direct the movie, produce the movie, and that's probably how you can make a vast amount of movies per year, right?
Yes, because I own all my equipment. I own my own studio,
Oh,
so I don't outsource anything at all. I don't hire anybody outside. We got our own team, so everything is in house. So we're able to keep our budgets real low because we own everything.
right. Okay. Okay. That's a great system for your business. So um, when you choose a actor, what's your process?
When I choose actors, normally what I've been doing is actually choosing people that I search for.
Okay.
I don't really do auditions because I just started doing auditions. Like what we're doing now, because right now what we're doing, we move from state to state, film in different states. So
Mhm.
we're actually moving around and not staying in one place in Memphis. We just went to Atlanta, went to Nashville, then we went to Chicago. So I just started auditioning. Uh, I put it on Facebook and tell people inbox me. They inbox me. I send them the roles through email and let them know, hey, you got a deadline to send your monologue back. When they send it back, we choose the individuals. I just started doing it, but what I used to do is just pull my own people that I see, on social media that actually qualify for.
Okay.
for the role.
Okay. And so, like, is it always peaches and berries, or does sometimes the actors or crew members don't work out?
Yeah. Now crew members, I don't have a really problem with, but actors is always you can always run into a problem with that situation because we had a situation where an actress woman came and the day before she said she didn't get on the plane because the plane was gonna fall out the sky.
Mm,
And then she got on Facebook the next day and showed everybody, hey, see, the plane crashed, but it was an air show. It wasn't the plane that you jumping on, so it was totally different. And then we had actresses that supposedly showed up and didn't want to wear certain outfits, that they're supposed to wear, and or either lied about that. Oh yeah, I can do the role when it's time to do the role. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, and got exempt from the role. So we run into a lot of problems with actors. That's why I make sure I screen my actors very well now and make sure they qualify. But still, again, you still run into a problem with that because I just ran into a problem with the actress I just filmed, and she didn't want to do the voiceover. She didn't want to do the ADR voiceover, you know. And so we had to find somebody. I found one of the other actors to do the ADR voiceover because she didn't want to do it. So, and those are hidden problems that we would not see
right.
from different individuals that you run into, meaning that you have to make sure you find somebody that's qualified, has been in the industry, that's been there, that want to do it, that know what they've been doing, and qualify for the position fully.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's very tough, man. As an independent filmmaker, how can one make money as an independent filmmaker?
My thing, you can make money as an independent filmmaker. Me by actually filming multiple movies because the thing about it, people understand that movies die out and revenue died with that movie. So what I decided to do, I decided to continue. I film several movies,
Right.
so I have multiple checks coming in at
Hmm.
one time. So that's how I do it. Multiple checks coming in. So if you film one movie, you wait for the one check, and that one check might be 5,000 this time, but next time might be 400. But if you film multiple times and have multiple movies coming out, say like eight, you might have that check might be 400, but the other check for the other movie might be 8,000. The other
Hmm.
check, so you never know what that income is going to turn to. So I make sure that I have film certain movies for multiple checks coming in.
Okay. Okay. Do you also make revenue in screening your movies, or do you just put them out?
Uh, Revenue screening the movies. No, I used to screen my movies, but I stopped
Okay.
because actually screening them at movie theaters didn't really do me any good. It started dying out. It was doing good at first because I just sell out two theaters,
Right.
but then it started getting kind of old because everybody started doing it,
Right. Right.
and I just stopped doing it because it wasn't working out for me.
Right, right. Yeah, same here. I used to do a lot of screenings, and after a while, now I just pick and choose which ones will do the best. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't do it. So
Yeah.
I really agree with you. Yeah, yeah. So what are your biggest revenue streams? Is it renting out your studio? Is it your actual films? Is it producing other people's films? What is your biggest revenue in streaming your movies?
My biggest revenue is my films, putting out my films. I have shot movies for a few people, and you get a big chunk of money at one time, but it's nothing like me getting money off my own films because I'm getting that check every month.
Every month.
So
Every
right
month.
now I get about 79 checks a month, every
Wow.
month. Yeah,
Wow.
so and I got 46 movies out on Tubi,
Mm.
so I'm maybe getting about 15 checks. Not saying that those 15 checks gonna all be like $8,000 a piece, whatever. But
Right.
you know, there are
It's
different
something.
amounts at different times, but it's income that I can live off of. So it's really good.
Okay. Okay. And so, what are some mistakes that indie filmmakers do or go through? Some mistakes they do.
Some mistakes they go through is paying actors highest amount of money to act in their movies.
Hmm.
If your budget doesn't match, this what you got to think about when you shoot movies. You got to think the lowest amount of money you're gonna make, and not the highest amount, because you don't want to be disappointed. So don't go out spending $20,000 on a movie. No, I take that back. Not spend spending high amounts of money on an actor when your movie is not gonna make that same amount. You might bring in, you might pay an actor $8,000 for the whole weekend, and your movie might make $8,000. But also, other than that actor you brought in paying $8,000, you also got other amounts of money you're paying out, as far as like editing and filming and cinematography and everything. Add out to be about $35,000, but you might get that check that might be just $8,000. So you still in the hole, you know, with 20 some $1,000. So you have to really make sure you're not overpaying for actors. Now some of these actors do really good when you put them on TV, and they can stream and make that amount of money for you. But the way things are going now, it's not going to happen. You're not going to happen the way Tubi is going now. It's not going to happen. You're not going to make that income the way you think, because most of the movies make the most amount of income within 4 6 months.
Okay.
After that dies out.
Okay.
So once you put that movie out, but no, it takes you 4 months to even make money off that first movie when you put it out, because Tubi holds back 3 months. And
Mm.
other platforms. So when you put that movie out, you got 4 months before you make that money. Meanwhile, you spent 30,000. You waiting on that 30,000 for 4 months. Then find the movie come out, you make 8,000 now. Oh my God! So you're in the hole, 20 some $1,000 right then and there.
Right.
I'm not saying they're gonna make 8,000. It might make the amount of money, but you can already expect the lowest amount.
Right.
You
Right.
know, when you're doing movies. That way, if you make that low amount, your pockets won't feel so empty. You'll be okay. Well, I ain't spent but $8,000, and I spent 10,000, and I made 8,000 back. So I'm just touring the hole. That ain't bad.
No, not bad at all.
So
Not bad at all.
yeah.
And so, when you pay your actors or whatever, do you pay them right after you finish shooting, or do you wait a month, or like what's your system?
On some movies, I pay my actors. Uh, with one distributor, I pay my actors. I give them up to 2 months before they receive. Well, no, I'm sorry, up to a month before they receive their payment. Now, because I got about three or four distributors. So with my other distributors, I pay them time they finish
Okay.
um, on that. So it really depends on what movie I'm doing and what distributor I'm taking it to. All that matters. But within all of that, they will get paid within a month's time, because I don't like lingering on owing people.
Right.
That's like a burden. I'm like, oh, something too
Yeah.
much to think about.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so what I do, I get it out the way, and I make sure that I pay them. One is where I make sure I pay them upfront, because I don't like paying people with my back end money. The back
Right.
end is for me to live off of.
Exactly.
So I the back end ain't going nowhere but in my pocket. Back in my pocket.
Back in my pocket. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
So but I make sure I get that burden off me, that on. I don't like owing nobody no money, nothing like that. That's just too much activity for me.
So you mentioned that you have several distributors. How do you decide which movie go to which distributor?
What I do, if I hand a distributor two movies, they haven't put it out, I go to the next distributor. and then it depends on what they're holding on to, and if they released it, if they released, and how long it takes them to release it.
Mm,
Because if it takes you a long time to release my movie, I'm going to the next distributor that'll release my movie within less than a month.
mm.
So if it take you too long, I'm gonna move on because me, I'm like this. I don't wait on nobody to do nothing. I don't wait on nobody to hand me nothing. I hate waiting. That's why when I built my studio, I couldn't find nobody to build it. I went on YouTube and learned how to build
Right,
walls and stuff like that because I hate waiting on people. You
right,
know, I hate old people hate waiting on people. I'm not gonna wait on nobody. And that's my overall thing. I don't wait on actors to decide what they're gonna do, if they're gonna do it. Do I wanna if I hand you a script and you say, well, give me a week, I'm gonna give you a week. But if you're sitting in a week, I'm moving on to what I need to do. It's just me, I don't like waiting on nothing.
right, right.
I guess I'm impatient. So I
No, like you, no, I'm saying you depend on you, you trust you, and so you don't want to wait for nobody, and that's not wrong at all. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to depend on somebody to eat. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go out and kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? So people that's looking at this video is going to learn from you and see your hustler mentality and your go-getter mentality. So I commend everything you do and everything you're saying right now. I mean, like right now, you're like an idol to me, even though kind of started at the same time because you made your own studio. I mean, because I can't shoot my own stuff. I just, so the fact that you shoot your own stuff, edit, all that stuff is just like mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? So you are a blessing to
appreciate that.
no problem. Like blessing to
And see,
me.
I learned that from 3 6 Mafia. They said if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right?
If it ain't broke, it don't need to fix it. So I'm like, all these years I've been doing the same thing. Uh, I've been depending on me, and I've been going by, what I think was best, and it's not broke, and it's been going and going. And I just said, like they said, if it ain't broke, don't need fixed.
If it ain't
So
broke, just fix it. So out of shooting and editing and writing and directing, what's your favorite role?
my favorite role is actually cinematographer.
Okay.
Um, I learned cinematography. I learned how to shoot from YouTube. I hired a couple of my friends to shoot, and I watched them. This was like in 2015, and then I watched them, and they taught me a few things and everything. And when 2017 came along, I started shooting my own movies, and I learned from YouTube more from YouTube using the camera because I used the Canon 770D all the way up to the man. I had so many cameras, pocket cameras, and everything. So the Sony, held on to the Sony real long time. So I built my way all the way up to the Ursa, where I'm using now the Ursa camera, and I got two of those. So I learned the lenses on YouTube. I learned all that, and from one of my partners, Blink and Pat. I learned a lot from them as far as lenses and how to do this, how to do that. So you know
So
that's how I
YouTube
learned.
University, so YouTube University, you learn how to the cameras and how to do everything like that.
Yes, because I was about to go to New York University, and I talked to the professor, and he said, "Miss Parman, your question." I said, "Yes." He said, "What the hell you coming here for when you know I do more than what my students do?" And I was like, "Well, I guess I needed some background." He said, "No, you don't need no background. You." He said, "You come to my class and teach them, cause what you're doing is really really great, And so I learned from YouTube University.
Gotcha. So what's the hardest part of making a movie that people never see?
Whew, the hardest part of making that movie that people never see. I'm gonna tell you, the hardest part of putting that movie together is editing. uh,
Edit.
Making sure that story is correct. No, I'll go back to on set because we always film out of order. It's making the hardest part is actually making sure everybody got on the right clothes. because you can shoot a movie, but you got to keep up with the days because we shoot out of order, and we might be shooting Saturday for Sunday, and time to shoot Sunday for Saturday. We got to make sure everybody got on the right clothes, which is called what's the word?
Um,
Oh
Wardrobe.
no, I forgot the word on set. We use make sure that uh somebody gonna say it when they see the video though. It just makes sure
Yeah.
everybody's on point with the clothes, make all the clothes is correct for the correct day because you won't be wearing a tie this day and the same day you got on a polo shirt,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know. So that's the hardest part is keeping up with the clothing because we shoot out of order.
Okay. Okay. We're going to end it with this last question.
Okay.
What does creative revenue means to you?
Man, creative revenue, it means a whole lot to me because I mean we didn't have this some years ago. Creative revenue is the biggest thing on earth now that you can actually really don't have to work hard to make money. And it's easy to make it if you sit down and think about what you're doing or what you can do.
Hmm.
Create something in your mind that's gonna bring the revenue to you. You you got millionaires out there, speed, you got Kai, you got everybody out here make Country Wayne creating revenue is just out blowing, mind blowing, just
Mind blowing.
mind
Yes.
blowing. It's
So it's
mind blowing.
all so it's all about what you think, and you can create what you think in your head. You know, what I'm saying, you just got to focus and go through with it. Hard work, and anybody can. So anybody can have and be creative revenue.
But one thing you have to do, you
Mhm.
have to be different. What
Be
works for somebody else doesn't work for you.
yes,
It
yes,
doesn't work for you. What worked for Soldier Boy didn't work for nobody else. What worked for Country Wayne ain't working for nobody else.
right,
So you got to be different and do something different and bring something different to the table.
exactly. Well, thank you, Robert Parker. Hey, Robert Parker. Um, where did you get the your name Rip from?
A friend of mine gave me the name long time ago. He said, "Rip, go get that. Rip, go get that. Rip, go get that." So I said, "Hey, I grew up on that side of you." Everybody said, "What does it stand for?" It ain't R.I.P.P. lowercase letters, R capital letters, and it's not R.I.P. Rest in peace. It's Rip.
Is Rip. Okay, got you,
Yes.
got you. Thank you so much. And so, where can people find your movies?
All right, find my movies. You can go to Rip. That's two piece entertainment films.net. You go on Tubi, type in Robert L. Parker on Tubi TV. Really Google my name. Google Robert L. Parker and it'll pop up film director, you know, whole entire social media. So you just get all the pages from there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rip. Hey guys, this guys, that's a wrap for this episode. Please like, share, subscribe to Creative Revenue Show. Thank you, guys. Peace.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right.